Hello, you're watching Telecom TV. I'm Martin Warwick and I'm talking with David Slater of HP. Dave, good to see you again. Thanks for talking to us. Let's look back and forward. We've seen a recession in the industry, which second time within the 21st century, which is now coming to an end. We've seen new technologies coming online, and we've seen network operators and service providers pressured like they've never been pressured before. The challenges out there are immense. Can you elucidate for us what you think those are in sort of order of precedence?
Sure, and I think the challenges really haven't changed as much as they continue to accelerate. So it's the classic challenges of it's very expensive to build these networks. In addition, the traffic on the networks continues to explode. The growth isn't slowing down. There's just more and more and more. And it's interesting because that expensive investment, who's taking the revenue out? It's mostly the over-the-top guys that are benefiting from it, and the carriers are being squeezed.
What about the customers and the end users themselves? What are they doing? What can you see is happening in the industry as far as they're concerned?
It's continuing the proliferation of devices. There's more in number, more in variety, and more in horsepower. Just the things you can do in the palm of your hand is phenomenal. And you just see cars now with touch screens. You see that everywhere. What the definition of a mobile device is these days is just dramatically accelerating the capability, the volume.
One of the things that also seems to me that service providers need to worry about, must be worrying about, is that little matter of customer loyalty.
Yeah, it's becoming even more exacerbated for them. It's a tough world, right? They've got to cut costs, per the earlier reference, and they've got to find new business and new revenues. At the same time, they're fighting for that subscriber. They're loyal in many cases to the over-the-top brand. You're loyal to your iPhone, you're loyal to your Android phone, etc. Less so about the carrier that brings it to you. So they're trying to find ways to differentiate and trying to improve that quality of experience the service provider is so that you're much more loyal to stay with them.
So it's a highly dynamic but very difficult market for the service providers. What do you think, how do you deal with it? What do you do to be able to ameliorate the difficulties that the CSPs find themselves in?
Well, they have to find new revenue streams. They have to find growth from somewhere, and we're seeing a wide variety of approaches to that. But in the end, you have to get more for less, as opposed to the less for more trend. And as we said, subscriber loyalty is a part of that. But ultimately, they need new business revenue sources, and they need to manage costs.
Well, precisely. You can't cut costs forever. At some point, you've got to stop. You've got to look around.
You can't cut your way to success. It just won't work.
Exactly. So, where are the new revenue streams coming from? Where do you think they are, and what technologies will be required for those to be able to happen and to give CSPs a chance of making better for themselves, making more money, and expanding?
So there's several big trends that, at a macro level that I think are emerging around the world. One is cloud. We're seeing these service providers both from the point of view of getting into the public cloud space. There seems to be a sweet spot emerging where the service provider launches a public cloud with a bundle of services aimed at small, medium businesses. Other areas that we're seeing is around mobility, the accelerating trends. So you see these macro things in the environment, well, they can take advantage of them. We're Wi-Fi offload. A lot more of the carriers are passing traffic back and forth. They're allowing users to authenticate whether you're on a Wi-Fi network or on a 3G or a 4G, etc. So the third mega trend, I think, is around big data. And it's kind of interesting, right? There's been a lot of noise, a lot of hype in the market around the Googles, etc. of the world and how they monetize all the stuff they know about you. And but when you really scratch behind it, who really knows the phenomenal amounts of data? Well, these service providers have an incredible amount. We're just starting to see the tip of the iceberg where they're starting to monetize it. And then the fourth one that has us really excited is around network function virtualization. And the reason that we're particularly excited within HP is if you look at NF, i.e. network functions, that's classically the domain of the network equipment guys. It's classically telco space. If you look at V, virtualization, it's more of an IT play. So it's almost worlds colliding. The opportunity for a telco to dramatically cut costs, both CapEx and OpEx through NFV, and to introduce new services in a much more agile, fast fail or fast succeed and then ramp them up is phenomenal by NFV. But the ability to execute is going to require them, those sort of worlds colliding, and you think of an HP being very uniquely positioned with our pedigree on the network side and the NF side and our pedigree as the world's largest IT company, we think we're uniquely positioned to partner with these service providers and help them through that journey.
Dave Slighter, thank you very much indeed.
You're more than welcome. Great talking to you again.